Well, that's kind of interesting. So, why don't you just take a seat? I have something interesting to tell you. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about a massive business loan from Can Capital. We have a maximum loan limit, $250,000. All kinds of credit profiles are welcome. Low credit, no credit, bad credit, poor credit, fair credit. Everybody's welcome. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you already asked me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about a very large business loan from Can Capital, $250,000. All kinds of credit profiles are welcome. Before I get into the nitty gritty, please understand that we have no association, no affiliation, no relationship with or to Can Capital. They're not paying us to do this video. We do this video because we want to inform people. It is educational. It is informative. All right, very simple. So when you think about Can Capital, there are two types of loans, business loans. So you have business term loan, and then you have merchant cash advance, MCA. So first, the business term loan. The amount will oscillate between $2,500 and $250,000. The APR will oscillate between 5 to 19.99%. The fees up to 3% origination fee, and the time to funding very fast, 24 to 72 hours. And there are no extra conditions attached to the business term loan from Can Capital. Okay, so this is pretty good. We love the fact that you have fixed daily payments and you have automated ACH deduction. So they're not waiting for you to pay them at the end of the month. No, they're taking their cash every single day. They are debiting your account every single day once you get the loan, because it's just a risk management strategy for them to reduce the risk of default from the borrower. And then so besides the term loan, you also have a merchant cash advance. So the conditions are analogous. So you have funding $2,500 to $250,000, 6 to 18 months estimated turn. You have fast approval, so the funds can be deposited into your account in as few as 2 business days. That's pretty cool. You have flexible daily remittances. You have an automated ACH deduction. But for the MCA, for the merchant cash advance from Can Capital, they do charge an admin fee, an administrative fee of $595. Okay, $595. That's the admin fee. But for the business term loan, you have up to 3% origination fee. So this is very important to keep in mind. And they take that origination fee from the loan. So if you are borrowing, say if you qualify for $100,000 with them, they will take 3% of that, right? That will be $3,000. So they will give you $97,000. Let's have a quick synopsis into this lender, Can Capital. Again, folks, I'm speaking to you today about a very large business loan from Can Capital, right? So we have two types of loans. We have an MCA, merchant cash advance, and then we have a business term loan. And the minimum amount is $2,500, and the maximum amount is $250,000. And so when you think about Can Capital, I want you to think about an alternative lender, okay? So they've been in the industry for a long time, and they offer both short-term business loans and merchant cash advances. And again, if you think about MCAs are kind of cool, especially if your business is looking for access to quick and flexible funding. That's kind of cool. And Can Capital is one of the kings or queens, if you will, in that industry. So the pros and cons of this player: the pros, do you have a simple application and fast funding? We love that. They have flexible requirements. They will work with the startups and businesses with bad credit, no problem. In some cases, the Can Capital also work with business with current debt. They have moderate rates for short-term loans, and we love the fact that in some cases they will give you a prepayment discount for short-term loans. What about the cons here? Now, as I told you, you have the flexible daily remittances, right? So both products require daily repayments, whether you're talking about the business term loan or the MCA. And you have short-term loans are not amortizing for Can Capital, and it's more expensive than other online term loans. So if you have to think about that, and you also have the origination fee that I spoke about, the admin fee, right? The 3% and the 595, and you can't use this. You cannot use any loans from Can Capital to build personal or business credits. No. So after evaluating this lender on tens of criteria, including the loan variety, the loan amount, generosity, how high they go in terms of their loan, their cost, the reputation, the customer service, we assigned the company a score of 9.5 over 10. We assigned Can Capital a score of 9.5 over 10. And on Trustpilot, they have a similar rating, if you will. And so out of 706 reviews, they've got an aggregated score of 4.5 stars out of 5. So this is pretty impressive, especially for a lender in that category, in the alternative ecosystem. So this is pretty good. Let me quickly talk to you now about eligibility, the eligibility criteria for this loan. Again, folks, I'm speaking to you today about a king size, or a queen size if you want, loan, business loan that is, from Can Capital. Minimum amount, $2,500. Maximum amount, $2,050,000, right? And all kinds of credits are welcome, all kinds of credit profiles. In terms of eligibility, they have a few things. So they want you to, in terms of the financial and business history, Can Capital can only work with businesses with less than $175,000 in outstanding tax liens or judgments. And they can work with business owners who have filed a personal or business bankruptcy, but they do require that 12 months pass since discharge before funding with them. So if you had a bankruptcy recently, you want to wait at least 1 year before you contact Can Capital. And the company also requires you to have a business bank account. Very important. And they cannot fund businesses who are looking to purchase real estate, but they can fund almost any other business need. And in some transactions, Can Capital can accept to take the second position to another lender, even though their preferred position is the first. In other words, if something happens, at least they have access to the company's assets first. But in some situations, they don't mind actually taking the second position if you want. And another thing you need to know is that you need to have basic information about you, the business owner, and your business. You need to have at least 3 months of business bank statements. In some cases, they might require you to have 6 months because it depends on the amount you want to fund. What I want to say here is that they do have a limit of $250,000, right? But in some cases, if you package the application, your application properly, they can fund you up to $500,000 or $1 million. In those cases, they might require you to have up to 6 months worth of business bank statements. Okay. And they also want to have your most recent business tax returns. All right. Whether it is your 1065 or your 1120S or 1120C. They also want to have a voided business check from you. So they have an idea of your checking account, your business checking account, and the routing number. And they also want to have a copy of your driver's license. And this is only for identification purposes, okay? Because a lot of the stuff will happen at the business level, not at the personal level. But they still need to, because of federal law enforcement purposes, they need to have identification when we talk about business loans or personal loans for that matter. I want to talk to you now about the use of loan proceeds. And so when we speak about, I'm still talking to you folks about a substantial business loan from Can Capital, minimum amount $2,500, maximum amount $250,000, and all kinds of credit profiles are welcome. So if you have bad credit or poor or average credit or fair credit, it doesn't matter. You can still qualify. Even if you have a recent bankruptcy, you can still qualify as long as the bankruptcy has been discharged. The debt has been discharged at least 1 year. So the possibilities for your business are enormous when you get this loan. You can actually fund a lot of things. You can fund your expansion. You can fund marketing expenses. You can use the money to pay back taxes. So if you owe the IRS or state and county tax authorities, you can actually borrow from Can Capital to take care of that. You can actually do renovations. Again, this is not renovations in your house. This is not home improvement. This is renovations in the office. You can actually hire more people, so you have staffing. And we've seen borrowers who got money from Ken Capital to buy equipment or inventory. And in some cases, some business owners have borrowed from Ken Capital to do technology upgrades. They took care of payroll also, especially when cash is tight and you have people to pay at the end of the week or month or every 2 weeks. You can use the money also to buy seasonal inventory. You can take care of digital marketing. So if you want to maybe beef up your social media marketing or your online marketing in general, or you want to launch a Google ad campaign and you don't have the cash now, that's kind of cool. Also, you can use the money also for seasonal marketing campaign also. Some people, for instance, around the holidays, around Thanksgiving or around Christmas, people, some companies like to sort of beef up again their campaigns. So that's pretty cool. You can use the money for a new website. You can use the money to do software upgrades, hardware upgrades. You can buy bulk inventory. On Ken Capital website, they even said that you can use the money to hire seasonal help. Right. Again, if you are in an industry that is seasonal or that is cyclical, then you want to maintain a low number of current staff or full-time staff, but you can hire occasionally to increase your workforce and be more productive. You can also use the money for SEM or SEO. So SEM stands for search engine marketing and SEO stands for search engine optimization. And you can use the cash also for cybersecurity. Thank you so much. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about Ken Capital, and I'm talking to you about a very large business loan from this lender, and the minimum amount $2,500, the maximum $250,000, and we love the fact that this loan is open to all kinds of borrowers, no matter the credit score. So, what is the evidence that they need to grant you the cash here? So you have several pieces of evidence. The first one is the business plan. They want to have a business plan. They want to have an updated business plan. And again, you don't have to write 40 pages or 100 pages here. No, they just want to have an idea of where the business has been, where it is right now, and where it's going. If you don't have a business plan, you can have a business pitch, right? Which is an abridged version of the business plan. They also want to have income tax returns. As I said earlier, they want to have income tax returns for the business. And in some cases, in some transactions, they will request the tax returns of the owner or owners, right? So your 1040 in that case. And also business financial statements, very important. So when we speak about financial statements, we speak about a full set of tabular representations, right? So because a financial statement is really a tabular representation when you think about it. So they want to have a balance sheet, they want to have an income statement, they want to have a cash flow, they want to have bank statements, they want to have also a statement of owner's equity. So this set of financial statements allows Ken Capital reviewers to have an idea of where your business is. Also, they want to have articles of incorporation or articles of organization to know how old or how young your business is, right? Because for them, it's all about managing risk. So they want to make sure you have they want to have a clear idea of when you actually were funded. And also on the application form, they want to have other types of evidence. For example, they might ask for additional resumes of the founders. Again, anything that will give the reviewer the ability to understand the business and the management of the business, then everything is fine, right? So they also might ask for business permits and licenses. They might ask for copies of contracts that you have with any third party, especially the key third parties, and in some cases, franchise agreements and commercial leases. Let's talk now about how to apply, folks. So how do you apply for this massive business loan from Ken Capital? Again, when we talk about a massive business loan, we are speaking about up to $250,000. And we speak about two very distinct categories of business loans. So we have merchant cash advances, okay, and then we have business term loans. So, but both have the same limit, $2,500, all the way to $250,000, and those two products are open to all kinds of credit scores. So how do you apply? You can apply via email. You can apply by faxing over the information to them. You can apply online. You can apply also on the phone. And if you are in an area where Ken Capital can accept in-house visit, you can actually go in there, or you can mail in the application process. It's not people think you always just need to do things online. No, they are open. They are flexible, even though their preference will be to do things online. Yes, that's for sure. So the one thing you need to do is that you have to go to, if you want to do the online application, that's kind of cool too, because the advantage of the online application is that it allows you to be pre-qualified. So what you do is you put a little bit of information about you and the business, things like the business revenue, the annual revenue, right? How when the business was funded and was founded rather. And you also have to talk about the sector in which the business operates. And this information, this trifecta of information can help Ken Capital's algorithms give you a pre-qualification offer. So they give you an offer, and if you accept to go further, then what they do is that they have to do a hard pull. Okay, now remember that, so it's all about you filling out a short application, sharing information about you and your business. You get options, right? So basically they will review your information and provide a response without negatively impacting your credit. So once you review your option, if you're cool with that, all you have to do is you just need to lock in your options. So you confirm that you are ready and you submit your final documents. Okay, and so this is pretty cool. And so I'm showing you on the screen right now, you have to go to a section called Apply Now. So you go to kencapital.com/apply, and this is the page. And once you do this, you put your info in there, and if the information is cool, okay, a member of Ken Capital will get in touch with you. And if there are missing information, if there's inaccurate information, they will still get back to you, because they're asking for your phone number or email anyway. Okay, now let me give you a few tips that will help you actually get approved very fast for a Ken Capital loan. Folks, again here today, I'm speaking to you about an enormous business loan from Ken Capital, up to $250,000 in a limit. And we're talking about here a loan that is open to all kinds of credit scores. Okay, bad, poor, fair, good, excellent credit scores. Everybody's welcome. And we also want to say that this could be either an MCA, a merchant cash advance, or a business term loan. So if you want to successfully apply with Ken Capital, make sure that you demonstrate sufficient cash flow. It's very important. As I told you at the start of today's show, they prefer to have daily withdrawals, daily repayments. So you gotta have some cash. You gotta have some cash to be able to, maintain the payment process. All right. So you want to demonstrate sufficient cash flow. And how do you do this? You can show this to them through a statement called cash flow statements. You can also use another statement such as revenue, which will list your income, your sales, right? And then you'll see also your expenses, and then sales minus expenses. That will give you net income. So that kind of tells them also, and that gives them an idea of cash flow, even though income and cash flows are two different things. And one thing I also want to say here is that you want to keep your documents in order, all kinds of documents. So from your financial documents, your financial statements, the 4 statements I spoke about earlier, right? Balance sheet, income statement, cash flow, and the statement of stockholders' equity. You want to keep your bank statements in order. You don't have to download them. You don't have to have them in paper. You can actually just go on the cloud or go to your bank and download them when you need them, okay? You also need to make sure you have all your operational and regulatory and legal documents in place. Everything from business licenses and permits to contracts with third parties, SLAs, service level agreements that you have with third parties, all that kind of stuff. You want to have it ready. And when Ken Capital contacts you, please be responsive, be fast, be prompt. Very important. They love borrowers who are prompt, who are very responsive. Thank you so much for your attention, folks, today. I really appreciate it. I was speaking to you very quickly about a gigantic business loan from Ken Capital, maximum limit $250,000. And I gave you some facts about the loan, a synopsis of the lender, and I spoke about the eligibility criteria, use of loan funds, evidence needed, how to apply, and last but not the least, I spoke about some pro tips that will help you actually gain approval. Thank you so much, folks. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.